I saw Maya crying at my wedding, and they weren't happy tears. I knew the difference. I'd known her for 12 years, seen her cry at graduations and breakups, and that one time we watched Coco together, and she completely lost it during the Remember Me scene. But this was different. She was standing near the back during the ceremony, wearing that emerald dress I'd helped her pick out, and when I caught her eye while saying my vows to James, she smiled at me. But her eyes were wet, and not in the joyful way everyone else's were. I should have been focused on my husband, on the man I was promising my life to. But in that moment, all I could think about was why Maya looked like her heart was breaking. The reception was beautiful. My mom had outdone herself with the floral arrangements, white roses and peonies everywhere, fairy lights strung across the ceiling of the venue. James and I did our first dance to a song we'd chosen together, something safe and romantic that made all the ants dab at their eyes. I laughed when he dipped me, played my part perfectly, but I kept looking for Maya in the crowd. She was at the bar, alone, nursing what looked like whiskey, which was unusual because Maya was strictly a wine drinker. She hated the burn of hard liquor. I found her there an hour later after I'd made the rounds, hugged what felt like 200 people, smiled until my face hurt. She was on her third drink. I could tell by the way she was holding herself, that careful stillness that meant she was trying not to seem drunk. "Hey," I said, sliding onto the bar stool next to her. "You okay?" She looked at me, and for a second something flickered across her face, something raw and unguarded. Then she smiled, that practiced smile she used when she was lying. "I'm perfect," she said. "You look so beautiful, Jen. Really. I'm so happy for you." The words were right, but they sounded hollow. I reached for her hand, squeezed it. "Maya, come on, it's me." She pulled her hand back, gentle but firm. "I'm fine. Just a little drunk. You know me and open bars." I wanted to push, but James appeared behind me, his hand warm on my lower back. "There you are," he said. "Your dad wants to do the father-daughter dance. You ready?" I looked back at Maya, but she was already turning away, gesturing to the bartender for another drink. "Yeah," I said to James. "I'm ready." But I wasn't ready for what happened 3 hours after the reception ended. James and I were supposed to leave for our honeymoon the next morning, some resort in Cancun with infinity pools and couples massages. But that night, after we'd gotten back to our apartment, exhausted and happy and ready to collapse, my phone rang. It was 2 in the morning. Maya's name flashed on the screen. I almost didn't answer. James was already half asleep, murmuring something about finally being married, and I was so tired my bones ached. But something made me pick up. "Jen?" Her voice was thick, slurred. "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have called. Are you okay?" I sat up, suddenly wide awake. "Where are you?" "Home. I'm home. I needed to hear your voice." My chest tightened. "Maya, what's going on?" There was a long pause, and I could hear her breathing, uneven and shaky. "I couldn't say it today," she whispered. "I tried. I stood there watching you marry him, and I wanted to say it, but I couldn't." "Say what?" "That I'm in love with you. That I've been in love with you for 5 years." The world stopped. Just completely stopped. I sat there in my wedding dress, still wearing it, because I'd been too tired to change, holding my phone with white knuckles, and I couldn't breathe. Maya continued, words tumbling out like she'd been holding them back for so long they were flooding out all at once. "I know it's not fair. I know you just got married, and I'm a terrible person for telling you this now, but I can't. I can't keep pretending anymore. Watching you walk down that aisle today, it killed me, Jen. It actually killed me. I started, but I didn't know how to finish." "You don't have to say anything," she said quickly. "I just needed you to know. I needed to finally say it out loud. And now I have, and you can forget I ever called, and we can go back to being friends, and I'll be fine. I'll be totally fine." She hung up before I could respond. I sat there in the dark, James breathing softly beside me, and I felt something crack open inside my chest. Something I'd been keeping locked away for so long I'd almost forgotten it was there. The truth was, I'd known. On some level, I'd always known how Maya felt about me. The way she looked at me sometimes when she thought I wasn't paying attention. The way she always remembered the smallest details about my life, my favorite coffee order, the name of my childhood cat, the specific way I liked my eggs cooked. The way she dated a string of women over the years but never seemed to fully commit to any of them, always finding some reason to end things. And if I was being really honest, brutally honest with myself in a way I'd never allowed before, I'd known something else too. That I felt the same way. I didn't sleep that night. I lay there next to my husband, still wearing my wedding dress, and I let myself remember things I'd spent years trying not to think about. The time Maya and I went to Portland for a weekend trip and shared a hotel bed, and I'd woken up with her arm around me and hadn't wanted to move. The way my heart jumped every time she texted me. The fact that when I imagined my future, my real future, the one I dreamed about in quiet moments, Maya was always there. Always. I told myself for years that what I felt for her was just friendship. Deep, intense friendship. I dated men exclusively, convinced myself I was straight, built an entire life around that assumption. And James was good. He was kind and stable, and he loved me. Marrying him made sense. It was safe. It was what everyone expected. But lying there in the dark, I couldn't lie to myself anymore. I was in love with my best friend. I'd been in love with her for years. And I'd just married someone else. When morning came, I told James I was sick. Food poisoning, maybe something from the reception. He was concerned, wanted to cancel the honeymoon, but I insisted he go check on some last-minute details while I rested. The second he left, I drove to Maya's apartment. She answered the door looking wrecked. Her eyes were swollen, her hair a mess, still wearing the clothes she'd worn under her dress at the reception. When she saw me, her face went pale. "Jen," she started, "I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have called. I was drunk and stupid, and please just forget." I kissed her. I didn't plan it, didn't think about it. I just stepped forward and pressed my lips to hers, and it felt like coming home. Like every moment of my life had been leading to this. She froze for a second, then kissed me back, her hands coming up to cup my face, and I felt tears on my cheeks. I didn't know if they were mine or hers. Maybe both. When we finally pulled apart, we were both crying. "I can't marry him," I whispered. "I can't. I thought I could. I thought it was what I wanted, but it's not. It's you. It's always been you." She was shaking. "You just got married yesterday. I know." I pressed my forehead against hers. "I know, and I'm the worst person in the world, but I can't do this. I can't spend my life pretending to be someone I'm not." What we did next was messy and complicated and hurt people I cared about. I called off the honeymoon, sat James down and told him the truth. Watched his face crumble. Hated myself for causing that pain. My parents were devastated. My mom cried for days. Some friends stopped speaking to me. The whispers and judgment were brutal. But through all of it, Maya was there, patient and steady and sure. We didn't rush into anything. We both knew we needed to do this right, to build something real and honest, not just run on the high of finally admitting our feelings. We started over, went on actual dates, learned each other in this new context. And it was terrifying and exhilarating and nothing like I'd expected. Kissing Maya felt different than kissing any man I'd ever been with. Softer, more intuitive, like our bodies understood each other in a way that didn't require translation. The first time we slept together, I cried afterward, not from sadness but from the overwhelming rightness of it. The way she touched me, gentle and reverent, like I was something precious. The way she knew exactly what I needed without me having to say it. The way I felt completely seen, completely known, for the first time in my life. Being with her meant accepting parts of myself I'd spent years denying. It meant coming out to my family, losing some of them in the process. My dad didn't speak to me for 8 months. My mom struggled but eventually came around, slowly, painfully. Some of my oldest friends disappeared from my life. But I also found a community I didn't know existed. Other queer women who understood the specific pain of late realization, of building a life on a foundation that wasn't true. I found freedom in finally being honest about who I was. Maya and I have been together for 3 years now. We live in a small apartment downtown with a cat named Sappho and plants covering every surface because Maya can't resist bringing home new succulents. We have our own rhythms, our own private jokes, our own way of being together that feels like it's ours alone. Sometimes I think about that moment at my wedding, seeing her cry. I think about all the pain we could have avoided if I'd been brave enough to face the truth sooner. If I'd let myself acknowledge what I felt instead of burying it under layers of denial and expectation. But I also know that maybe I needed to take that journey. Maybe I needed to almost lose everything to understand what really mattered. Last month, Maya and I went back to the venue where I married James. They were hosting a wedding expo, and we went mostly as a joke, to laugh at overpriced centerpieces and ridiculous cake toppers. But while we were there, walking through those same rooms where I'd made the biggest mistake of my life, Maya turned to me. "You know," she said softly, "if you ever wanted to do this again, the right way this time, I'd be ready." My heart stopped. "Are you?" She smiled, that real smile that crinkled the corners of her eyes. "I'm asking, aren't I? We're getting married next spring." Small ceremony, just close friends and the family members who've chosen to support us. My mom is coming. She's even helping with the planning, which feels like a miracle. My dad still won't acknowledge my relationship, but I'm learning to make peace with that. Some people can't change, and that's their loss, not mine. This time, when I walk down the aisle, I'll be walking toward the right person. Toward someone who knows me completely, who I don't have to hide from, who sees every part of me and loves me not despite those parts but because of them. This time, when I say my vows, I'll mean every word. And this time, when I look at Maya, she'll be crying happy tears. I know the difference now. I know her tears, her laugh, her body, her heart. I know the way she takes her coffee and the sound she makes when she's falling asleep, and the exact spot on her neck that makes her shiver when I kiss it. I know her, and she knows me, and that's everything. Sometimes the love story you're supposed to have isn't the one you think it is. Sometimes it takes breaking everything apart to build something true. Sometimes your best friend is crying at your wedding because she knows what you don't yet, that you're making a mistake, that you're marrying the wrong person, that the love you're looking for is standing right there in an emerald dress watching you with a breaking heart. I'm grateful Maya had the courage to tell me the truth. I'm grateful I finally had the courage to listen. And I'm grateful that love, real love, the kind that transforms you, was patient enough to wait for me to find my way home.